Naruto, the worst trait of every main character. The best part about Naruto was that no matter how perfect or powerful a person might have appeared to be, they all had their flaws. Naruto and Naruto Shippuden had no scarcity of exceptionally interesting characters, who were all unique in their own way, possessing their own set of defining traits that made them who they were, thus setting them apart from everyone else. The best or the worst, depending on which fan was asked, part about the show was that no matter how perfect or powerful a person might have appeared to be, they all had their flaws. Be it heroes or villains, they all had their shortcomings, and honestly, that was what made them human, after all. 10. Shikamaru Nara was an insufferable sexist misogynistic character. As brilliant and lazy as Shikamaru might have been, he was also a huge sexist, which was a trait that could be seen every single time he talked about women and girls. He constantly complained about how annoying girls were, he had an issue with being paired up against girls during the Chunin exams, and even went as far as to say that he hated them. He was also highly skeptical of Tsunade, a woman, becoming the 5th Hokage just because she was a woman. 9. Itachi Uchiha kept too many secrets that led to many lives being destroyed. Itachi's story was one of the most tragic stories in the series. However, if he had not kept so many secrets, things could have turned out better. For example, when the village elders were planning to kill off the Uchiha, who were planning to overthrow the current leaders and seize the village, Itachi could have been the bridge that would have helped solve the problem through peace, instead of just agreeing to do whatever it took to save his village from war. He also kept the truth from Sasuke, who grew up traumatized and scarred, burning with revenge for the killer of his parents. He wanted Sasuke to become strong enough, but, again, if he had just told him the truth, his brother's life might have turned out better and not as lonely. 8. Jiraiya's sexual harassment of women was downplayed for laughs. Jiraiya might have been a legendary Sannin and the great Toad Sage, however, he was a very creepy person who spent most of his time spying on young women while they were naked, and looking at their bodies without their consent. He often said it was because he was doing research for his books. Writing books with dirty content was something he loved to do. But for a man of his age, stature, and accomplishments, he really should have been a better role model for young boys who looked up to him. 7. Tsunade Senju was a heavy drinker, a gambling addict. Even though Tsunade Senju was one of the legendary Sannin, and the 5th Hokage, she could be very irresponsible at times. She was addicted to gambling and spent almost all her money on gambling, while also enjoying getting drunk and losing her senses, publicly. While there is no harm in indulging in these activities in moderation, she always took it to the extreme. Poor Shizune could always be seen running after her, begging her to stop. 6. The prideful Madara Uchiha thought that his way was the only right way. There was no doubt in anyone's mind that Madara Uchiha was one of the greatest, most powerful shinobi that ever existed. The catch was that Madara knew this as well, was very proud of this fact, and used it to try to intimidate others to bend to his will. He wanted to put the world under infinite Tsukuyomi just because he thought it was the way to go. He did not hesitate to kill anyone who came in his way or opposed him. Karma came knocking at his door as he realized, in the end, that he had been manipulated by Black Zetsu all along. 5. Obito Uchiha became obsessed with the idea of a dream. Losing the love of his life, Rin Noara, was extremely painful and traumatizing for Obito, as he watched her die right in front of his eyes. From there on, his only goal in life was to help Madara cast infinite Tsukuyomi over the world because it was promised to be a world of dreams and a world where Rin could exist again. Even though he knew she could never actually come back and it would just be an infinite dream, he lived his life trying to achieve this dream of his, and destroyed the entire world in the process. 4. Kakashi Hatake wasn't as good of a sensei as he's made out to be. Kakashi was another legendary ninja who was a pervert. He always read dirty books that were mostly written by Jiraiya. He was often so invested in these books that he would lose himself in them and forget what was happening around him. When Naruto and Sakura were tasked with defeating him, all he could think about was finishing the book he was reading then. He was supposed to test his students' skills, yet he lost because Naruto pretended to give him spoilers and he covered his ears to avoid them, giving the young ninja a chance to win easily. 3. Sakura Haruno was often too dependent on others to save her. In most fights, Sakura always took a back seat and let the others, mainly Naruto and Sasuke, deal with the enemy while she cowered in the background. This is most evident during Pain's attack on Konoha, where she mostly sat back and waited for the men in her life to save the day. Sakura actually had a lot of potential and an incredible amount of strength. Yet she just behaved like a damsel in distress due to her poor characterization. When she did try to prove herself, she acted rashly and ended up getting impaled by Madara. 2. Sasuke Uchiha became consumed with the desire of obtaining revenge power. When Sasuke was young, Kakashi tried to save him from going down the path of revenge and power. However, Sasuke did not listen and went to train under Orochimaru, anyway. It was only a path of destruction and revenge for him from there on. First, he killed his brother to avenge his clan. Then he vowed to destroy Konoha for what they did to his brother, and, finally, he wanted to put the world under infinite Tsukuyomi and control all the tailed beasts. 1. Naruto Uzumaki forgave criminals that rightfully belong in jail. Of course, even the protagonist of the show, Naruto Uzumaki, had flaws like every other character from the series. He unnecessarily forgave characters who did not deserve it, like everyone in Konoha who shunned him as a child and made his life miserable. Then there was Obito Uchiha who destroyed the entire world. Countless lives were lost, the world was thrown into war and the lives of several innocent people were changed forever, including Naruto's. Obito was also the reason why his parents died. Yet, after all that he did, Naruto chose to forgive him.